right, we're here at bike check-in and wetsuit decontamination. That's Lake Chihila, whatever it's called. It's about a 30-minute drive from the registration transition 2 area. And so you got to plan ahead to do that for this race. And yeah, we're gonna do this. Hopefully it doesn't take very long. And then head back day before the race today. And then chill the rest of the afternoon. Get ready to eat some good food, carb load up. And then tomorrow we race.
All right, tell us where you're at. How's it going? How you feeling? Give us the deets.
All right, we are in Indian Wells. Our Airbnb is conveniently very close to the race course. I think you can see like those mountains in the background. That's right around the lake. We are done for the day before the race. We've checked in all the bike gear. We've dunked our wetsuits. We have gone to the Prerace briefing. We've got everything squared away by about 4 o'clock, and we've just been chilling, kicking it at the Airbnb with some of our friends that we're staying with, and then we're gonna have some dinner here in a little bit. Yeah. All right, this is dinner.
This is dinner.
Or race day.
This is race day.
This is Jaden.
This is I.
How are we feeling about dinner? What do we choose to go with here, and how's this gonna impact your race?
We have rice cooking and rice cooking. We have 3 cups cooking for all of us, and breakfast. I've got a steak reheating in the air fryer.
My air fried steak. It's fresh, sizzling.
Air fried steak is underrated. I used to air fry my steak all the time. And got a bit of salad just to freshen up dinner, otherwise it gets a bit too bland.
I agree.
Simple but nutritious.
Very nice. Bonnie, on to your dinner. What are you cooking for me?
Ground turkey, flavorless, no seasoning.
Just the way we like it.
Just kidding. But ground turkey to go with rice and some veggies.
Very nice. And that is what we're having for dinner.
Nice. Okay, so what do you expect for tomorrow?
It's going to be a big race. I would say there were 72 men on the start list. It's going to be rough start to the swim because there's going to be so many guys spread out on the line battling it out. They told us they're going to do the course in reverse direction for the swim this year. They're doing that so that there's less sun glare in your face when you start the race, is what they told us.
What do you anticipate doing on the swim and for the bike and the run?
Swim, I'm going to try to just do my own race. I think I'm going to swim better that way, so my plan is to try to go out smooth, find some fast feet, as everyone's going to tell you that that's their plan. But I'm going to do that, hopefully settle into a good group, and then hopefully I'll be able to control a little bit more of my race in the swim. I feel like a lot of times I just lose energy in my legs. Hip flexors get really tight, and I have some issues with like kicking and just maintaining a good rhythm. So hopefully I'll be able to keep a good rhythm going. I'll be able to speed up, slow down a little bit, and just feel more in control and more comfortable throughout the swim. That's something that's a big goal for me this go round. And to swim fast. I hope my swim split will be somewhere in the range of 24 minutes, maybe very low 25, but I think I'm very capable right now, if the swim goes well, to hit 24 and be top 20 coming out of the water. That's kind of a goal for this swim.
Yeah, I want that for you. What about the bike? What do you expect to do on the bike? What's your strategy?
I feel like recently I've had a lot more power than typical, and that's just come to me in like the last couple of weeks. Don't know if it's been training, more sleeping, just not sure what's producing that, but I feel like I have more power and I need to be able to control it, because I don't know if it's going to help me or hurt me really if I try to chase someone down and it doesn't go well. So I'm going to try to stay as smooth as I can. This is a really flat course, lots of turns. So I'm going to try to get around turns really well, maybe get an advantage on some of the bigger guys by getting back up to speed a little bit better, so it can kind of split groups up there. But I know that's probably some other people's strategies if it's anything like short course days, where you go in a corner and then people just get on the gas as hard as they can and you try to splinter up packs. I think there are going to be some big packs on the bike with this big of a field, and with this swim historically being a little bit closer together of a field, we don't see as many time gaps, I feel like, in the pro field. So hopefully there will be a bit bigger time gap, so the swim will give you a little advantage if you do well in the swim, but I'm not really sure how it'll go. But I think it will come all together a lot in the bike. There's gonna be some big groups. I don't want to get caught up in something that yo-yos into a U-turn and then you get penalized for that, potentially for drafting, which I'm not going to intend to do. Hopefully it'll be just like Michigan, where I'm doing pretty well and staying towards the front of some of the groups that I managed to get into and things like that. But I'm going to try to stay pretty chill. I probably am not going to try to force any moves or make any big moves tomorrow, unless I just feel like I'm doing pretty well and working hard and I want to break it up and I want to go and attack. But I'm not going to try to do anything crazy because I want to save my run legs, which will get us into the run in a second. But on the bike, I'm going to try to shoot for best power over the 70.3 distance again. So far I've been going up in power every race, so I think from training I'm real capable to hold around 280, 85, maybe even 290 on this race. So we'll just see what happens out there, but that's kind of my game plan for now. And then hopefully it'll set me up for a good run. And then on the run, I hope to have a really good run. I want to be in one of the top 5 run splits, top 6, 7, 8. There's actually a lot of really fast runners in this field. So I got a top 10 run split last time. Now I want to get a top 8 run split, because that's where I hope to end up, is I want to be in the money a little bit. I think there's a good chance to do that here. It's going to be competitive, but within the pro field, all the guys are going to be good at the top, and it's just going to be a little bit of who has a better day than someone else, or who has a bad day and opens up a door for somebody that we call in the mid-pack. I could still consider myself in the mid-pack right now, trying to make that jump up. It's been a slow process, but I haven't had that many races or that long of a pro season career yet, so we're working our way into that, but I'm just hoping to see progress quickly. And then I want to have a good run. I just want to stay nice and smooth. Kind of did some Strava creeping to see who runs well and how do they do it at this race. And even though it goes through a golf course and it has a little bit up and down and twists and turns, it looks like the guys that do really good at this race, they start out at a good clip in the low 520 to 535 range, and then they just hover there. And so that's what I'm going to try to do, and hopefully that yields a run split that's in the range of 111 to a 113 and a half. That's where I want to, that's my sweet spot for the run.
Do you have any maybe like tertiary goals that you haven't mentioned yet? Maybe not so much in terms of placement or power or things like that, but some other type of goal that you haven't mentioned yet?
I just want to continue to see a placement trend. Even though this field will be bigger than some of the other fields, the strength of the field scores a little bit lower than the last 2 fields that I've raced, and I got 33rd in the first race that I did back in Maine, and that was not what I would consider a good race. I just had a lot of issues and things that some of you guys have been following along through like my Instagram and things like that. I've talked about that in detail. And then in Michigan I had a good race and I got 18th there, and then this race I'm hoping to move up into a top 10 position. So I'd love to see just a skip through the field throughout this year. That would continue a really good trend. So that's like a tertiary goal. That's what I really hope to have. Everything else is kind of secondary. If I ruin my race for myself by doing something dumb on the bike, then I'll just accept the consequences, but hopefully I can put together something just good. I want to have a really good race across the board. A PR time would be great if I can do faster than 3:56, which could be capable, I feel very capable of doing here. And then, yeah, I would like to move into a top 10 place. And if we're in top 10, why not get top 8 so we can get a little money here?
And what's your fueling strategy mid-race, but also before the race?
Before the race, just on race day, I'll wake up. I've got some muffins that I got from just the local grocery store, something that I usually eat. My body's like really used to that. So I'll have 2 of these blueberry muffins, which are both 450 calories. That puts me at 900 calories. I'm going to drink some good water before the race. I might have an egg or 2 if I'm feeling hungry enough. And then I might have a Cliff Bar to snack on throughout the morning after we leave the house. But other than that, I'm not going to take much before. And I know a lot of people do a gel before the swim. This time, I'm actually not going to do a gel before the swim because I've done it in the last couple races, and I just don't really think it's been that helpful. hard to tell, but we'll find out by trying it out this time. And I just know my training, I haven't taken anything like a gel right before doing my big Saturday blocks. I usually have a good breakfast and that's it. So I'm gonna try to keep the gut happy and just try to keep sustained energy. So I'm gonna load up pretty okay in the morning, but nothing crazy for breakfast. And then during the race, when I get onto the bike, I might take a gel pretty quickly and then save another gel for later in the bike. And I'll probably put 3 gels on the bike, and then I have a Precision fuel and hydration fuel mix that I use, where I've loaded into the 1 liter, their bigger bottle that I'm gonna have as like my front hydration system on the bike. I've got 2,000 milligrams of sodium in that, and then 120 grams of carbs in that bottle, which is what I consider a super saturated solution. So what that means is there's just more solution of solid, the powder in there, than it should be into that amount of fluid. So I'm gonna follow about 1 or 2 sips of that with a sip of water, usually on the bike ride. And I'll try to use everything I have on the bike, which would put me at about 90 grams of carbs an hour. I think I might underdrink the Precision Fuel bottle a little bit, because it might be a little bit too much on the milligrams of sodium for me for this race. And so I might try to do a little bit less of that. So even if I get around 2/3 of that bottle, I want to try to get a little bit more of that. If I can really follow my hydration and fueling plan well, then I'll take the 2 to 3 gels, and that'll put me right around 75 to 90 grams of carbs is what I'm aiming for. And I think that'll set me up for a good run. And I've chosen to just take 1 Precision Fuel and Hydration gel, which this is what I'm using for everything, is just all Precision Fuel and Hydration. It works really good with my stomach. Usually doesn't give me any upset stomach, but I'm gonna try to do all that on the bike. I don't think it's gonna be a heavy sweating day because the weather is gonna be pretty nice, but I just wanna make sure that everything feels good. But I'll go a little bit based on feel as I go towards the run, make sure that the stomach is happy before that, because I'm gonna try not to go to the bathroom. But in my last 2 long training sessions on the weekend of bricks, things have been not going well. About mile 5 or 6, I really have to go to the bathroom during the run. I run really good lately off of a hard bike, but my stomach hasn't been sitting quite right, and I haven't figured it out what's been going on. As the temperatures have cooled off, maybe I need a little bit less fuel, but we're still gonna stick with the typical plan that I go with. But I'm just gonna take 1 gel on the run. So a little risky, just 30 grams of carbs and that's it. I'm gonna take that sometime in the beginning of the run, so that way I don't have to carry anything on my suit, anything on my person. And I think if I really need something, I'll grab a gel from one of the aid stations. But my plan is to drink water at every aid station. If I feel like I'm sweating enough, I'm just gonna keep hydrating along the way. Maybe take some mortal hydration in, that's just on the course and it's available, but we'll see. Hopefully I don't have any issues with hydration and fuel there.
Looking forward to watching your race.
We'll catch you on the flippity flop.